One of the most common problem of Indian pharma industry is the attrition, and this is something not so discussed about. Today we'll discuss about this attrition issue in a different way. In pharma industry, we lot talk about positive attrition or negative attrition. Although by changing terminology, the issue does not change, it is attrition. First, let us talk about what is the size of problem. Industry undergoes, or size has an impact also. Industry has at the tune of around 30 to 35% of attrition, which means 30 to 35% of people of the company, pharma companies are leaving almost every year. Some companies it is more, some companies it is less. Maybe smaller companies suffering to the tune of 100% also. Big size company may be suffering much lesser, maybe to the tune of maybe 10%, but problems are there. When person goes, it takes almost 6 months for coming new person and take over the territory, almost same place. That's a very minimum. Some place it takes even more time also. Then there is a cost of recruitment and there is a huge cost of lost opportunities, which means attrition cost to industry or the company is much more than what it is being seen. It's a huge problem. Now look at, say, why attrition happen. One is business is not happening. Support systems are not a smooth one. Many people leave because of behavior of their immediate seniors or management overall. Some people leave when they look at their future outside companies, or some people leave when they don't see the future of this current company. Some people leave when they don't look at increment good enough or other incentive, other part. Some people leave when their career growth is not as per in their expected line, and some people leave, they are not learning, or they can say they are not feeling that they are learning working with the company. But where comes the concept of positive and negative attrition? Who define them? It is like, old time, the kings, the people who win, they write the history. And who are the winner here? Are the managers, senior leadership. They are the winner because they are the boss. So if anybody leaving, then they find the terminology whether this is a negative attrition or the positive attrition, so that the data of the attrition, data of the leaving looks good enough. Which means if any manager in a month, say 10 people are leaving at zonal level or regional level or national, whatever we call it, he may call it 1 or 2 as a positive attrition, or you can say person was good enough or person was average, he left, but other was, you can say, a negative attrition, which means person was bad enough, and we find it, their concept, person was Cho, or person was, something like this, very bad person, bad selection, blah blah, all those things. And by this way they change the ratio of the positive or negative attrition or good or bad attrition. Although there is nothing like uniformity or nothing like agreed terms, what will be called good attrition, what is called bad attrition, or positive or negative attritions. Because as I mentioned earlier, attrition is attrition. This way we justify ourselves, we appreciate ourselves, or we can say we feel like a reason of avoiding any kind of self-criticism or any kind of guilt, because so many people are leaving in my team. But problem remain that this way companies suffer whether any manager accept or does not accept. Then bigger question comes, why don't we stop this negative attrition? What is the root cause of these negative attritions? Why don't we address it? Or put it other way, if we address this negative attrition reason, probably this kind of attrition will not take place. The one reason is that there is a bad selections. Sometimes we select people simply on the basis of online interview. Sometimes we are hurrying the entire selection process. Sometimes we are not giving sufficient time in the interviews. Sometimes we are selecting because we are in hurry in the starting of training program, or we are in hurry, let us fill up the positions. Many reasons, but there are bad selections. And after the bad selection, the next more important reason is the bad induction. We hire people and we simply ask him to go and join. Or we have not given enough time to work with the people, to properly induct him, to properly introduce him to company, so that he become integral part of company. He feel like aligned or part of the organization. So bad induction is the second reason of this kind of attrition. And third comes then bad support system. When any employee comes with you in order to perform in your company, he need a kind of support system. He need a kind of promotional inputs and other support system to perform. And when he does not get it, he again leave. And sometime a fourth reason I look at, say, when people have some kind of grievance, people want to talk to people when they remain unheard, or we are not listening to the people. So if you look at the four different kind of or four different reasons I am giving here with the negative attrition, whether it's a bad selection, whether it's a bad induction, whether bad support system, or when people are not being heard, whose responsibility it is? It is responsibility of the managers. It is responsibility of the leadership. If we can't do our job basically, then tomorrow people will come and leave. And if we take care of that, I believe as good at 70 to 75% of attrition can be controlled, reduced. And if 70-80% kind of attrition can be reduced, it can be controlled, I believe our performance will increase significantly. So one of the area of increasing business, one of the area towards team building, it's not about converting the doctors or converting our customer. One big area is to do the right recruitment and reduce attrition significantly. If any company you are joining tomorrow and company is having say 30% attrition, if you are able to reduce this attrition to 10% or less than 10%, I think your growth will become at least 10-15%. Your business will grow by simply that way. And we need to look at more importantly this way, because whatever you spend on the business promotion, you can save that money also, even if you are retaining your team and working with the team and better work is being done. So I hope this video will be useful to people and looking at importance of being attrition. And again, when the positive attrition, negative attrition, or you can say good attrition or bad attrition, we should come out of that entire philosophy and look at attrition as attrition and look at what is problem from our side, what is something I can do kind of feeling. Thank you.